At just 14 years old, George Stinney Jr. became the youngest person executed in the United States in the 20th century for a crime he didn't commit. It was 1944. The world was at war, and in the small segregated town of Alcolu, South Carolina, another kind of war was being fought, a war against justice. George was a poor black boy living in a divided town. He was bright, curious, and kind. But none of that mattered when two young white girls, 11-year-old Betty June Binnicker and 8-year-old Mary Emma Thames, were found brutally murdered near the railroad tracks. George had simply spoken to them earlier that day. Within hours, George was taken by police without his parents, alone, frightened, interrogated for hours in a locked room, no lawyer, no witness, no recording, just a child, forced to confess. The confession, well, it was written by the officers, not by George. He couldn't even read it. At his trial, the courtroom was packed, but no black people were allowed. The jury was all white. His defense attorney didn't call a single witness. The trial lasted just 2 hours. The deliberation only 10 minutes. 10 minutes to decide a child's life. George's family begged for an appeal, but the execution was scheduled. And just 83 days after his arrest, George Stinney Jr. was strapped into an electric chair built for adults. He was so small, he had to sit on a Bible to reach the electrodes. The helmet was too big for his head. When the switch was flipped, it fell off. Decades later, the truth emerged. There was no physical evidence, no credible witnesses, no real investigation, just racism and a rush to convict. In 2014, 70 years after his death, a judge finally threw out George's conviction, declaring he had been denied a fair trial. But justice came too late. George had already been killed by the very system meant to protect him. He wasn't a murderer. He was a 14-year-old boy who loved drawing and helping his siblings with chores. He was innocent, and the world forgot him, until it couldn't anymore. How many more Georges have we forgotten? If this story moved you, share it. Let the world know that injustice still exists. Subscribe to our channel to hear the stories they tried to silence. And remember, justice isn't justice if it's not for everyone.